Well, years ago, and I'm talking about decades ago, we started hearing things about bootlegs, and I wondered what that was all about, and I soon found out, and a couple of friends were telling me about the Great White Wonder, not Wonder, Wonder's another another bootleg, um, Great White Wonder, and this was Bob Dylan, so it was all sort of shrouded in mystery. What were these tracks? They were recorded a while ago. Oh, they were going to be fantastic, etc., etc. And we got to know of a couple of record shops that sold them from under the counter, and they were in white cardboard sleeve with, I don't think there was anything on the outside. So I never got one of the original Great White Wonders, but I did buy various bootleg LPs of Jimi Hendrix. One was called Wow, and I'm not sure if that was the one where his appearance on British TV. Was it Lulu or Dusty Springfield? I think he appeared on both those artist shows. Anyway, and then live material, recordings and whatnot. And it went over a period of years. And, I thought, I'm spending a fair few bob on these bootlegs, which incidentally I haven't got anymore. But one of the places that I used to buy them from was Virgin's first shop in Birmingham city centre, and it was ironically, it's always made me laugh, it was next to the law courts, and you could go in there and they had like airplane seats, and you could sit in there and listen. They'd put the album on for you, so that was pretty good. And then you knew if it was absolutely rank quality, don't bother with it. People used to go in there and listen to an album for a group called Tonto's Expanding Headband, and there'll be some people out there that will remember that. Anyway, I don't think I've ever owned a copy of that, but I have heard it in the past. Anyway, this book had come up in an Oxfam shop some years ago, a bootleg history, Bootleg, The Rise and Fall of the Secret Recording Industry by Clinton Heylin. Now, you'll know this guy's name from work on Dylan books. A richly anecdotal wander through the folklore of bootlegs and eloquent arguments in their defence, lauding the better bootlegs as a historical treasure trove and true carriers of the rock and roll movement. That was written by somebody at Mojo. An absorbing account of the record industry's worst nightmare, this classic history of the bootleg record industry and the attempts of the copyright laws to keep up with it. It has now been updated and revised to include today's digital era and the emergence of a whole new bootleg culture, starting in the summer of '69 with the legendary, as I mentioned, Great White Wonder, a collection of unreleased Bob Dylan recordings. This is the story of an industry dedicated to making unofficial recordings available to true fans. It's a wild and compelling story, superbly researched and told with real style by one of the most respected rock historians of today. And there are plenty of other plaudits. Originally, the price for this new was £14.95. It's incredible the details that it goes into here. I mean, it really, he really does write some door stoppers, Heylin. And let's just see inside. It's well worth picking this up, though. You'll find it very interesting. If I could ever get to the bit I want to read you. In the summer of '69, in a small cluster of independent LA record stores, there appeared a white label 2-disc housed in a plain cardboard sleeve with just 3 letters hand stamped on the cover: GWW, Great White Wonder. This was Great White Wonder, a motley collection of unreleased Bob Dylan recordings culled primarily from the home sessions in Minneapolis in 1961 and Woodstock in '67. It was the first rock bootleg, and it spawned an entire industry. Well, as I say, there's just tons and tons. It even goes into punk and all sorts of things. I can remember back in the 80s, some friends and I used to exchange tapes, and these are tapes that were recorded illegally at concerts. Having said that, I don't own any of them now. They've long departed, these cassettes, all sorts. And the one that was the most prolific, and I gave up with it in the end, because I thought, if I'm swapping tapes, it's taking me time and this, that and the other, not worth the hassle. Bruce Springsteen. I couldn't believe at the time how many concerts that he'd done. And many of these tapes, they were taken from soundboard recordings. So I suppose I should have hung on to them, really, but they really were excellent, even though maybe the third, fourth generation, really good. What else was there? There'd be a drip feed occasionally of Beatles stuff come out, but mainly Springsteen, Hendrix, Dylan, The Doors. That was another one. Used to be a lot, performances of The Doors and outtakes, etc. But they've all gone anyway. But if you're interested in bootlegs, how they started, etc., which I've detailed a little bit already, this is certainly a book well worth buying, and you will be fascinated by it. And as it says on the back, it's been updated to take in the digital era, which we're still in, aren't we? Okay, have a great day. If you've enjoyed it, click a like, and do please subscribe if you haven't already, because I love to think that we've got a bigger and bigger family to be there, so that I can show you all the stuff from my collector's cave. Bye for now. Have a great day.